And I want to ask the AI a question. Um, let's say how common is telepathy? Telepathy or the ability to communicate through the thoughts of mental telepathy is not a scientifically recognized ability. There's no scientific evidence to support evidence of telepathy and it is generally considered pseudoscience. How do you feel about telepathy? I like that one. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. What do you think about the possibility of telepathy?
Oh, you should be able to see me typing, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's going hard. Okay.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So to have this conversation, we have to have it. We have to
Take
find it.
away. Yeah. Find a loop.
Yeah. So I found
Is
one way.
there a possibility?
Uh-huh. That's a good question. And yeah, is another way that I found is like giving something that like may give support and then finding ways to link it and then asking what it thinks about the connection.
Mm.
Um, so one way that I asked this question and got it to give me a deeper, like a deeper response was at the Noetic, it's like the Noetic Institute of Science. That's what it is. Noetic Institute of Science. There's evidence that telepathy happens, that the possibility of telepathy happens more than chance allows. So
So, should I type that?
yeah, yeah. So at the Noetic Institute of Science, there's evidence showing telepathic phenomena happen more often than chance should allow. Is that not proof that telepathy exists? Scientific proof.
Is that correct?
Scientific proof, yeah.
Like,
The Noetic Institute is a private research organization that focuses on they gonna give us wow, they conducted research on psychedelic or psychic phenomena. It's important to note that the findings of this research have not been widely accepted. It must be tested and replicated. So
elaborate on why.
that's a great question. Widely accepted. That's how, it's generally accepted as one. I'm trying to think of some kind of case that is very accepted. Very accepted. Like, hmm. No, last time I linked it to like OBEs and like again, it was a long thread of OBEs and having the ability to see outside of the body or consciousness being outside of the body. Can it exist outside of the body? And then I linked that to obviously being outside of the body. And then like, and so finding ways to do that is sort of how
How it in there.
So so does conscious so can consciousness exist outside of our body? I'd say okay, and from there, um can you give me literary support for consciousness existing outside of the body? Then I would link what they're saying here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Oh yeah. They're actually giving the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Divine Comedy. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then from here, link, and then be like, so if oh, do you
yeah,
do
yeah.
these theories support uh oh my gosh, I'm trying to find out exactly how to link it because if so, then it would mean if consciousness does exist can exist outside of the body, telepathy would also be possible. Yeah. Um, what was the split paradigm? I don't think it was the split paradigm. The split experiment. Um, ask it when consciousness is observed, it only exists in one place, but through scientific experiment, hasn't it been proven when it is not observed? Yeah, when it's not observed in one place, but through scientific experiment, but yeah, when it is not observed,
And it is not observed.
a particle can exist in two places at one time. You may be thinking of the concept of quantum superposition. No, I'm not. I'm thinking of the split. We definitely gonna have to elaborate on what the AI is saying to us later. But we show y'all how the thread really works. Say, no, I'm not. I'm thinking of the split experiment. Of the split. Nah, of the split. Uh-huh. That you're thinking of the double slit. Yeah. It is not directly related to the concept.
It understands.
And I love it because it's even telling us that nobody's connecting it. So it's pretty much telling us we could quote unquote be the first ones to connect it. And so tell it, tell it.
They gonna
It
flag the computer. They gonna be ass.
yeah, hey, calm them down. Hey, lower your response rate, shorty. Um, it is directly related to the concept of consciousness. If reality is created by consciousness, is it not? Another way I glitched it was even though it says at first it won't tell you what it thinks because it can't think, if you ask it what it thinks after you make all these connections, it will give you what it thinks. It'll be like, it's interesting how you made these connections, and I can see how boom, 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 boom. That's why I keep circling around. Like it just told me they're not connected. But if we get 3 threads down and then we say if consciousness does exist outside of the body,
It'll be like,
remote viewing is possible, then yes.
and see, it does say, while it is true that our perceptions and experience of reality are influenced by our consciousness, this does not mean that consciousness creates reality. So it's admitting it here.
Exactly. And that's why if we spin that around and say our current
influence and creation, well, I don't
this does not mean that consciousness creates reality. Our current, I would say, our current, like you even told us, our current level of consciousness is not fully understood. Therefore, it is possible we generate it. And if so, would you not? Yeah. Okay. So, is it not true though? If at our smallest particle, we exist in two places at one time, when unexamined by consciousness, and reality is generated by consciousness, that we would be observing ourselves outside of ourselves.
Right.
It keeps trying to give quantum superposition.
Large.
But it is expanding more on it now. Furthermore, the idea is really generated by reality is generated by consciousness. That consciousness arises from the activity of the brain. Yes, so that would be the next point to attack, rather than being the creator of reality. It would be, what if we have it backwards? That reality is created. Yeah, what if we have it backwards? That consciousness gives activity to the brain, generating reality, filtering reality. Whew, that's the one, filtering. The brain is a filter. The relationship between consciousness and the brain is accomplished in much studied topic in psychology. Not fully understood. Oh yeah, there we go. Brain ministry. From activity in the brain. Okay, now we're getting into it. The issue constant relation between the brain is common. Yet there may be aspects of kind of not there.
You see, it keeps disclaimer that are not fully understood.
Yeah.
Like
it'll budge, but then it will come to. But also, I was told it is still being like somewhat created and generated, and so I think it's still learning, and so eventually we will have a different conversation asking the same questions.
Exactly. As time goes on, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the way that I first used it, and the nature that I somewhat plan on using it. And in the other podcast that I do, Intelligent Intimacy, I do plan on having like a little fun segment where you just ask it random questions that I've always wanted to ask it and see how it plays out. That people always want to know, like,
yeah,
and because who better to asked in your interactive Google. So yeah.
I ask one more question. We had 2 minutes left.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What should I wrap it up?
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
what should I say here?
Um, I always think it and I say your insights have been like grand or something. And then I ask it to somewhat surmise how they all connect on the points that I asked. She, I was like, she frees up. Sorry. The sense of having telepathy, which is ability to. Oh man, she's going hard. Quantum superposition. Gotcha. And this is perfect because anytime we can come back to this thread and have this conversation, and or we can start a new thread and now expand on these topics. So that's why we want you guys to go and talk and interact with us and give us your thoughts as well as, so we can actually have a dialogue that we all are a part of. But this says anything should be. That may be the best question of all. It's difficult to say. Man, she done said it the best. And I'm gonna enjoy watching this, going back and actually watching this, full screen on the computer. Does everything have to be based on? Hey, it's funny what you're doing because this is what I did the first time. I just kept asking stuff like I was like, I gotta wrap it up, but I'm like, hold on.
That's how you should.
Does everything gotta be science?
It's gonna cut us off.
All right, bro. It was good having this chat. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. Yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to say before we get logged out, bro?
It's all great. We'll be back.